Forget anything we say about this place. I am so grateful that I came here. And I think that if I had if I could afford it, I would take every Nigerian out of Nigeria just to come and live here. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. And if you've always been here to support me, I really appreciate your support. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you things I have learned coming to Germany. Now, to put this in perspective, Germany is not the first country I am visiting or I am living in. I used to live in Turkey and I may make another video about that, but this one is about Germany and the things I have learned. Surprisingly, Germany is not like, I wouldn't say it's the best place to be in when it comes to certain areas of your life. But I always tell people when it comes to self-development, if you have that drive to want to learn a skill, simply because the state itself really invest in its citizens. So for example, here you can learn a skill. If you're going to become a nurse, for instance, you learn the language to B2 level or B1 level, you get to a hospital and get paid for learning how to be a nurse. So generally, I always tell people that you can just take the positives and leave the negatives. But the things I have learned are, number one, I have learned new skills due to availability of basic amenities. When you leave Nigeria, one of the things you begin to realize is how, as a people, it's difficult for you to develop or to make any form of progress simply because the government itself have not put basic things in place. Something as little as electricity. It's even a miracle that Nigerians know about YouTube, because can you imagine for how many years YouTube had existed and people didn't know about it just because people did not have internet to even access websites. So just basic things, self-improvement, for example. For me, I think I'm a better cook. I actually learned how to bake, actually learned how to do my hair, just because you have the resources to do it. And then secondly, independence. When I mean independence, now in Nigeria, we're used to having nannies and all of that, which of course, me, I love it. I love that life. I love the soft life. But even though you want to have somebody do things for you, you also want to be able to do these things yourself. I mean, we've had instances where we've heard, drivers parking cars on Third Mainland Bridge and walking away just because they knew their madam or their oga couldn't drive. But when living overseas, I can't speak for everywhere, but for Germany, for me, it's not even about the resources. It's also about the fact that I have to book an appointment and I have to get there on time. And then when you look at the time constraints, for me, time in the Western world is almost like it goes really fast because everything has its time. You wake up at 6, you take your kids to school at 7:45, you pick them up at there is no, I came late because, so when you have to live that way, the little time I have for myself, I don't think I want to sit down making appointments to get my nails done. Or I used to do that in the past when I just got here. But when I saw the stress and the toll and how my family would have to wait outside for 2 hours simply because they had no place for them to sit inside the salon, I gave up on all of that. So for me, when you see those of us who live in Europe and you don't see us getting our nails done, or just know that sometimes it's not poverty, it's just you fitting into the lifestyle. And then having to fit into the lifestyle now means you now have to learn how to do these things yourself. For example, I'm really good with my hair care. I'm good with my cosmetics. I'm good with basic things that maybe in Nigeria I would have struggled a bit to know. Thirdly, in fact, for me, I think this should be the number one. I am more careful and less trusting. You see, there's something about us Africans that we actually don't know. And I think maybe it has to do with our culture, religion, and programming. We are too trusting of people. It's wild that we police ourselves like dogs. For example, for those of us who live in Nigeria, we know, okay, when you get to Lagos, this is how you behave. You hold your bag when you go to certain market. If you're going to Lagos Island or something, you have to put your bag under your armpit. You have to be careful. You have to be wary of agberos and things like that. But do you know that nobody also taught us that we should also be careful of foreigners. We should also be careful of Westerners. And so maybe because we grew up seeing white Jesus, or we grew up seeing symbols and priests and popes and watching movies, because when you watch the overseas on TV, it looks perfect. Everybody looks like, life is great. They are friendly. But in real life, it's the opposite. And so many of us relocate with that mindset, like the world is our oyster, like everyone loves us. And it's crazy that so many people have gotten into trouble because they were too trusting. When you hear of, oh, I got married, when I got married, they took all my property, it's over trust. You will marry a Nigerian woman, for example. She will not even know how much you're earning. She will not have access to your bank account. You'll marry an Oyinbo person. You guys will be doing one account. You'll be, so you see that you tend to give them more grace simply because nobody told you that, see, your own people are not the only criminals in this world. Your own people are not the only dangerous people in this world. My husband was telling me that when he visited Nigeria one time, he heard people saying, Oyinbo don't lie. Hey! I heard them say, Oyinbo don't lie. See, I beg, this video is not a slander of anybody, okay? But I'm just going to tell you that in my own experience, if you're going to take 70% care with your own person, when you're dealing with a foreigner, I'll tell you to double it times 2. Because guess what? They have certain skills that we don't have. They are, for example, I have never seen anybody in my life that can play their game. If you think, oh, some people say, oh, Igbos are very smart. They know how to play their game to the end. They know how to follow you to when they get what they want. My dear, come and try the Western world. Like, you have people that would stay. I mean, if you watch all these celebrity news, you'll see people that would get married till when they know the state will grant them the access to the person's property. Like, you have people that would play their game till the end. So for me, in that regard, I would say they have more, I don't want to say emotional control, simply because for me, I appreciate my people. It now made me realize that, okay, we are more open, we are more direct. For example, for me now, I can tell when a Nigerian person is mad at me. I can tell when they are lying to me. I can tell, like, I just know my people. You understand? I just know my people. So for me, I just think in that area, they have more people skill. They know how to get what they want. So when you see an average person telling you, oh, take it easy, oh, it's okay, or when the voice gets so low or too nice or things like that, for me, I just increase my guard. I put up my fences, like, okay, I want to know why you're talking to me in that manner, why you're being so nice. And for me, anytime it's time to give out money, anytime they want you to buy something, they'll be very nice to you. So, well, that's what I'll say. I'll say we're not taught that. So for me, coming here has really taught me to be less trusting, more observant, and I'm able to have a nice time with somebody without really thinking, okay, it means we are now friends or we are going to chill out tomorrow. No. And these are things that I didn't learn in my country, because in Nigeria, you can meet, I have friends that I've met simply just because I saw them today and we became best friends. They're visiting each other. It's not like that over here. You have to learn to be self-sufficient. You have otherwise, wahala day, you enter wahala. Anyway, another thing I have learned is to be less needy. Now, this is a point that a lot of Nigerians don't know that they suffer from. Now, I don't think it's a bad thing because it's our culture, but at this point in my life, I cannot tolerate it. So when I visited home, there was someone that I was like, okay, send me your account. I will send you money. The person was now calling me. My dear, I blocked the person. Oh, I blocked the person. So personally, I can't tolerate it now, but I get that it's a Nigerian thing that you'll be calling somebody, I can't do it. So the thing here is, there's a saying here that no answer is an answer. So you could write somebody a message, person will read it and not answer. My dear, that's an answer. By the time that happens to you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, nobody will tell you. You will learn how to. And let me just tell you, if you go about chasing somebody with phone call, by the time they report you to the police, your eye will shine. So most times, once you call once, you leave it that way and write a message or drop a voice note. There was one time that I called my son's school. They didn't pick. Then I sent a message. When I got to school, the man told me that when I call or when I send the message, I don't need to call again. You know, there are those habits that you will learn and you will know that, okay, this is our calling. I don't want to call it codependence, but I feel it's codependence. Anyway, so that's something I have also learned. I've just learned to be like on my own, which I think it's cool. You know, I used to always be on my own, but like I'm now like Pro Max, let me put it that way. Then the last one that I would say is this fake smile. For those of us who live in Europe, this one is a European thing. It's not even a German thing. You greet somebody, especially somebody that does not wish you well. In fact, that's the number one sign to spotting a racist. You greet them, If you're coming from Africa, you think they acknowledge you. My sister, they don't acknowledge you. You are not big enough for them to open their mouth, to talk to you. So that fake smile is something that I have. So do you know that I've learned it so bad that when I'm even working, this is how I'll be smiling like this. But I know deep down I want to be out of that place. Do you get? So one thing I always tell people that, see, forget anything we say about this place. I am so grateful that I came here. And I think that if I had if I could afford it, I would take every Nigerian out of Nigeria just to come and live here, because I feel like living overseas for me is the hallmark of my life. It's like that thing that needed to happen for me to appreciate myself and my people. There are certain experiences you need to have that will like make you a well-rounded individual. And I feel like that's living overseas for me. Like right now, I can do certain things on my own. I'm more, let me say this, that one of the things that increases the gap between the rich and the poor in Nigeria is the fact that, yeah, now when you see someone is poor, they basically have everything you have in your house, but they just don't have the money to maybe go on multiple holidays and stuff. But Nigeria is not like that. There are people in Nigeria who don't know pancakes, who don't know basic things, who have never seen washing machines, and it shouldn't be like that. So living overseas gives you that exposure, that independence as a person that you need to have. And then I feel like when you go back home, you value yourself more, you value your people home. But then sometimes I wonder why these things don't reflect on our leaders, because they have seen it all. But I think that's another that's another subject for another day. So if you like my video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you in my next video. Bye bye.